Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick is here, whose sophisticated, sultry alto voice has made her a vocalist of international acclaim and the second most charted female artist of the past 2 decades. Her father was a gospel record promoter for the legendary Chess Records, while her mother managed the gospel group The Drinkard Singers, leading Dionne at the age of 6 to sing at the New Hope Baptist Church in Newark, New Jersey. When Dionne was still a teenager, she formed the Gospelaires with her sister Dee Dee and Aunt Sissy Houston, while attending the Hart College of Music in Hartford on a music scholarship, where she later received her master's degree. The Gospelaires continued on doing session work in New York City as backup singers for people like saxophonist Sam the Man Taylor and Benny King, singing on the King classics Spanish Harlem and Stand By Me. The ladies also sang on a Drifters session where composer Burt Bacharach heard Dionne and suggested she do some demo work singing on a Bacharach Hal David composition. They took that demo to Florence Greenberg of Scepter Records, and in 1962, Dionne's first single, Don't Make Me Over, was released. After that, the top story of the Billboard music chart became Dionne's second home. What a list of classic hits followed. Anyone who had a heart, walk on by. Message to Michael, Alfie, I say a little prayer, do you know the way to San Jose? This girl's in love with you, I'll never fall in love again, you'll never get to heaven. With the Spinners, then came you, I'll never love this way again, Deja Vu, and in 1985, That's What Friends Are For with Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder, and Elton John. Dionne hosted Solid Gold on network television, was the U.S. Ambassador for Health in the 80s, along with being named an ambassador of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. She has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, won 5 Grammy Awards, and that is an abbreviated list of her accomplishments. 2002, Miss Warwick was honored by the American Red Ribbon AIDS Foundation, which she has raised millions of dollars for, and was recently honored with the New York chapter's Heroes Award by the Recording Academy. In 2003, we can expect a CD of duets, My Friends and Me, and here to talk about that forthcoming release and her music, Miss Dionne Warwick, welcome. It is great to have you here.
That's a lot of stuff.
And you, my lady, have a long, great resume, I must tell you.
Thank you.
Me and My Friends.
Yes.
Tell me the story of how it all came together and how the idea came to be.
Well, I'm celebrating my 40th year in our business, which is an accomplishment in itself. And I, was trying to find a way to celebrate it in the fashion that will continue to be a part of what I am, a recording artist. And the thought came in a dream, as all my shows do, and everything else that is good for me happens in dreams. And I got up and I said, that's the way to do it. We'll do a commemorative CD of duets with me and my friends. And I started calling my friends up and basically asking them to think of what is their favorite Dionne Warwick recording. And the obvious, of course, are the ones that you've read off, in fact. But, to really give some thought to it, ones that really you've listened to over and over again and didn't necessarily were hits. And I got back quite a wonderful array of songs from some incredible people in our industry.
You and I were chatting just a few minutes before we started. What I find to be such a breath of fresh air is a lot of times discs like that, the people themselves just go out and record hits, let's say, of yours. Or you'll do classic recordings from the past or classic compositions of the past. Why this is a breath of fresh air, your classic recordings done with you.
Yeah.
It's never been done like that before.
And not only that, but it's not my idea. I didn't choose the song. The person that I will be singing with chose the song.
And how did you choose the artists to sing with you?
I just opened my phone book and started calling my friends.
In that case, it should have been a double CD.
It is going to be.
See?
It's going to be 40 songs, celebrating 40 years with 40 of my good buddies, people I've known for as long as I've been in the industry, and a couple of new youngsters who are making quite a name for themselves in our industry, who have kind of looked at me as a mentor. So it's going to be I think, one of the better pieces of work I've done in a long time.
Who can we expect to hear of your friends?
Of course, I won't be able to name all of them, but immediately it's Luther Vandross, George Benson, Kenny Rogers, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, Elton John, Gloria Estefan, Jose Feliciano, individually each of Destiny's Child,
Wow.
Maya. I'm waiting for confirmation from Pink now. Oh my.
When can we expect it?
It'll be late spring this year.
Anybody, Dionne, who you wanted to have on this disc and just it couldn't come together?
I'm still waiting for Earth, Wind, and Fire to confirm. That's my favorite group of all times, bar any.
Because?
And because they're the best. That's the only word I can come up with. I'm waiting for Maurice to get back to me, and I'm so, first of all, I'm pleased that he's been blessed to be really convalescing exceptionally well. So once I get that one, right, I'll have it all.
You know, we had Philip Bailey on this program, and
yeah?
just a great gentleman.
He's a super person.
And the new CD, very, very good.
Nice.
I know this is going to be difficult, but if you could give it a numerical number, where would you put this forthcoming disc on the list of Dionne Warwick's favorite CDs that she's done?
Well, you know what? It would have to be number one. That's the place all of the CDs are when I'm doing them, you know?
Right.
It takes priority.
Right.
So I would say it would have to be number one at this moment.
The process of singing. Great vocalists have to have what in order to modulate a performance?
First, they have to have a voice.
You know, something special, something unique. What differentiates singer to singer in your estimation?
I think more than anything else is the sound. Each singer that I've listened to have their own distinctive sound. I know when Gladys Knight is on a microphone. I know when Patty's on a microphone. I know when Luther's on a microphone. I know when Nancy Wilson's on a microphone. It's the sound that's completely associated with that person.
And that said, your special uniqueness, what do you think carries you the most?
Well, I happen to be a combination of sounds. I come from a singing family, so I know I'm a Duke's mixture of every voice that is in my family. So that's kind of a hard question to answer.
But when you hear Dionne Warwick,
Yeah,
stands
it's
right out.
nice. It's nice. It really is nice to know that I'm the only one that sounds like me. And I think that's the special gift that Big God in the Sky has given me.
Speak to that, your special gift.
My special gift is the gift of music, being able to communicate a feeling, hopefully to bring some happiness and joy into people's lives. And that's what I've been put here for.
And tell me why for you, why for Dionne Warwick is the stage a privileged place to be? You would say what?
Because people have options as to whether they want to come and be a part of that. You know, I can be standing up here singing to an empty room. So I feel completely blessed, and it is a privilege to perform before an audience.
Are there certain demands, or tell me, do you think there are certain demands that you put on yourself each and every night that you perform?
The only demand I put upon myself is to do the very best that I can do. That's all I can do. And that's the only demand that I will ever put upon me. Anyone that puts anything more on themselves are looking to put stress out there.
You know, right, and then you kind of suffocate or smother your art form or the craft. Maybe I should have worded it this way. Do you think that an artist, or yourself, has a responsibility to the audience?
It's only that, to give them the best that you can possibly give them. And there are moments and nights when this little muscle might not feel like doing what it's supposed to do. But I use my humanity to let people know, you know, I'm not feeling the greatest tonight. I'm going to do the very best that I can.
Let them know you're
and
human.
That's all I can do.
Are there certain things you ask of yourself, though, when you come from over there, those wings, and walk out to the stage?
Not of myself. I pray before I go on stage every single night. And that has been from 6 years old in church to this very moment, tonight when I walk out. And, you know, I just ask my Heavenly Father to hang out with me. So I never walk out here by myself.
You talked about the muscle.
Yeah.
Let's stay with that.
Okay.
What do you do to keep your instrument where you want it to be?
You know, the only thing that works and that is a true medication for a vocal cord is rest. I think I do everything I'm the pits when it comes to that. I don't get enough rest. I just, I'm telling you the truth.
I'm going to say, I know you don't, because between the new CD, this year you have a fragrance line coming out.
Yeah.
I know about the book, the
Yeah.
African-American book that you're putting
History
together.
book, yes.
I don't even know when you have time to perform, let alone get some rest.
I know, it's, I guess I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that is a part of the blessing.
Tell me about the book. I'm fascinated.
Oh.
I'm fascinated. You've been compiling information
Well,
for so long. Tell me about it.
I personally have not been compiling. I wish I could say it was all me. I have some of the most brilliant minds who have written books on African American history in different genres, and they've all decided that they wanted to be a part of what I was doing. It's just basically a realization that I think that the world should understand that African Americans are a major part of the fabric of this country as part of the other parts of the world, and we have been very, very cleverly either disguised and or negated from history.